and I'm from North Carolina. My question is, what does the Earth look like from outer space?
Thanks for the question. The Earth looks absolutely amazing. It's really beautiful. The colors are just striking, no matter if you're looking at the Bahamas like a beach or the desert. To me, it's very striking. So it's just a beautiful view. Actually, we have a little globe here that hopefully you can see, and what we don't see is like the whole thing. Unfortunately, we're only 250 miles up, so we're really close to it, so we don't get to see all the way around like the men did from the moon back in the 60s and 70s like this. So we're much closer than that, but still our perspective is pretty fantastic, and it's a gorgeous sight.
Hi, my name is David, and I'm from North Carolina. My question is, how do you cope with the gravity change when you first get on the International Space Station?
That's a great question, because for most of our lives we live on Earth and we have Earth's gravity that we're experiencing. So when we first get into space, our brain and our body is pretty confused, and it takes a few days for you to start to feel normal again. You feel a little bit sick to your stomach at first when you get here, and you have a lot like a stuffed up head, like you have a cold. But once your body and your brain figures it out, you can do like Shane is doing right here. He's upside down compared to me, but he feels exactly the same as I do, which is different when you're on Earth. If you hung upside down like from the monkey bars, you're going to feel all that blood rush into your head. But he and I can feel exactly the same whether one of us is upside down or right side up. It's pretty cool.
Hi, I'm Kalea, and I'm from North Carolina. My question is why do astronauts get weaker in space? Thank you.
Well, oh yeah, good question. So if we did not work out up here, then our bones actually would start deteriorating, and that's not good, obviously. We found this out over the many years we've had people flying in space. And so because we know that now, then we get to work out about 2 hours every day to really work our muscles, to get stronger for one, but also to prevent that bone loss. That's really the key. And I would say after a long duration mission like this, typically we come back actually a little stronger because we are working out so much. I mean, rarely at home do we work out every day for 2 hours a day. So our strength is going to be up, and because of this workout program, our bone density is also not going to change very much, and that's really important.
Hi, I'm Lincoln from North Carolina. My question is, what future space mission are you most excited about?
That is a great question. We have a lot of future space missions to be excited about. We have a lot of current missions to be excited about, actually. We think our International Space Station mission is pretty great. And one of the things that we get to do while we're up here is look at technology that's going to be used on some of these future missions, like people returning to the moon and going on to Mars. And right now at Mars, as you probably know, there's a helicopter on Mars that people can remotely fly. So really lots of exciting missions going on now to prepare us to do things like sending people to the moon and Mars. So lots to be excited about.
Hi, my name is Inda, and I'm from North Carolina. I wanted to know if you can grow vegetables in space.
Yeah, you know, we get to do that every now and then, and actually just this morning I planted a new set of crops, I'll call it, in the space plant habitat, and we're going to be growing chili peppers here. It's going to take us about 4 months before we can harvest them, and it's going to be right about the time we're supposed to go home, but we're hoping we get a sneak peek and maybe get to have a few before we come home. On my last mission, I grew lettuce. It was really fantastic. We got to grow it, we got to harvest it and eat it, and then send some back down to Earth as well, so that the scientists could really look at what was going on. And this will all help us, like Megan was talking about in the last question, as we go to the moon again and Mars down the road. It will help us create plants and things that the astronauts can eat on those different planets.
Hi, I'm Zach. I'm from North Carolina. And my question is, what's the most fun part about astronaut training?
Well, I think the most fun part about astronaut training is that I get to learn to do so many different new things. I don't just have to learn one thing. I got to learn a whole bunch of stuff, which is challenging. It's hard sometimes, but it's also a lot of fun. I get to learn how to fly and monitor spacecraft. I get to learn how to do spacewalks and do robotics and then all kinds of science experiments. So for me, getting to do all of those different things is a lot of fun.
I'm Leela, and I'm from California, and my question is, what does it smell like in space?
Space has a few different smells, I would say. Here in the International Space Station, it's pretty normal. I would say it's kind of like being in an office building or your school. There's an air conditioning system here that kind of cleans out a lot of the potential odors, which is great. And I noticed a difference on my very first flight when I came up here. It kind of smelled like a gym, just because the circulation wasn't as good as it is now. But now it's pretty clean. Now, when things show up from outer space, like if you go outside to do a spacewalk and you come back in, or if we have another spacecraft that shows up and then you open up the hatch, you actually smell space, and it's kind of hard to describe, but it's this metallic smell. I think Megan says it smells like hamburgers. So maybe we're just really hungry for a real hamburger up here, but it does have kind of a unique, space does have a unique smell when you see something or smell something that comes in from the outside.
Hi, my name is Sean. I'm from North Carolina, and my question is, what advice do you have for someone currently working towards the requirements of joining the next generation of astronauts?
Sean, that's a great question. So obviously, professional astronauts right now, we have a background in the sciences and engineering. So all of those science and mathematics classes that you have are really important. But I think the most important thing is to try different things as you're growing up and as you're thinking about what you want to do in the future. Try out some different things and figure out what it is that you really love to do, and then work hard to do that thing well. You want to choose something that you're going to love to do no matter what, no matter whether you become an astronaut or not. And if you don't love what you're doing, you're probably not going to be as good as something that you really love doing. So my advice is to just kind of take a look around and figure out what it is that you're going to love to do.
Hi, my name is Gianna Powell, and I'm with the Saunders Science Scholars Program in North Carolina. And today my question for you is, when you look down from space on Earth, what vibe does it give you, or what does it make you think of?
Wow, it gives me a lot of different emotions, honestly. We get to look out the window, almost daily, if not multiple times daily. It's a very humbling perspective, honestly, for me. So that's one of the emotions I feel, that, wow, we're pretty small when you look at this grand Earth beneath us. It's also a fragile Earth, and that's something I feel when I look down at Earth. So it makes me want to really take care of it when I get back home. And so it's kind of changed my perspective a bit in that way. So hopefully those are a couple things that you can think of: humility and fragility.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe my channel.